Okay, I'm back live once again. I'm getting to like this. If you don't know who I am start again. If you don't know who I am, my name's Elwyn Davis, founder of Pixel Haze Academy and Pixel Haze Studio. And my background is in web design, in fact, going back 20 years. And in the last 10 years or so, I've specialized in Squarespace. So I'm a Squarespace authorized trainer and specialist designer. If that sounds interesting at all, great. If not, well, hopefully what I do will be interesting. And today I'm going to show some examples of how to create advanced layouts. A little bug that's cropped up in Squarespace lately. It's kind of a feature thing, maybe not a bug, but I'll run through that and just to show you how you can work around that as well. But mainly, if you're getting your head around Squarespace or you're looking to take it to the next level, this tutorial should help. And this actually cropped up in a support call on our school community this morning, where one of our members has mentioned that they were really struggling with some of the design elements in Squarespace. So I thought, hey, I can share this as a tutorial, both for my members, but also for you as well. Hopefully you enjoy. Let's jump over to our screen. And I've got a demo site here on Squarespace open and ready to go. And within this layout, we've got some different layout structures, all built using SquareForge, which is our very own Squarespace template structure builder. And that's available at squareforge.net. That's the last bit of selling I will do, I promise. So sometimes, in fact, let's choose a layout from SquareForge. And maybe let's have a look at some either signposts or, yeah, we're going to go to signposts and cards, and we're going to grab one of these card layouts. This is probably a good example to work with here, which is quite a detailed card layout, and I'll show you how to rebuild this as well. I'm going to save that as a section. Now, when we go into any of our other pages that we built already, so I've got a demo page here with loads of different hero types. No, let's just create a new blank page. So I'm going to be really original and call it test. This site's not live. It's a development Squarespace site, so we're fine with that. And now, instead of adding one of the standalone Squarespace structures that are available on every site that you build, or starting with a blank page, instead we're going to go to saved sections, and we can see the card layout from SquareForge is in here ready to go. This is all plug and play. We can go in and add an image. In fact, let's do that. Search for bread. We'll go for this one. So the content in this layout of SquareForge is all kind of pretty vanilla corporate content. The idea is it blends and it looks realistic content without going with lorem ipsum on everything. So I'm just going to choose some stock photos that actually tie in with the website, not necessarily the content, if you're wondering why I'm doing that. And so that's just showing how we can edit this. So we can see we've got paragraph 1 and paragraph 2 in the same text block. But what if we wanted to do something more advanced? Like, for example, I'm going to highlight the problem that one of my clients had today, and then I'll show you how I fix it. I hope it's not going to be one of those cases where the issue just does not show up. Now I'm trying to replicate it. That won't be the first time. Let's go with a light layout. And then we go with dark blocks over top of the light layout. Is it that way around? No, I think it's yes. I think we'll go with that. So what happens now is I can select this text and I can change the color. A relatively new feature in Squarespace, and that's quite handy to do. But if I go and choose to put a bullet point in, sometimes I've got to click on those 3 dots. Aha, I've been able to replicate the issue. If we want to put a bullet point content over top of a shape, this is a shape here, over top of another background, the bullet point doesn't fall in line with the color that we changed the text to. And if that sounds a bit like gobbledygook at the moment, let's start from the beginning further down the page and show you how I build this structure from the ground up. So see, I started by adding a shape. Then I added a button, text block, and image over top of that shape. So let's do this all from scratch. So first of all, I'm going to go down and find a shape and then move it into position, roughly the same size. I can move it up to see if it's the same number of grid spaces. We can adjust the gaps between each of the grid blocks on a case-by-case basis with each section. So this section can have different spacing to this one. And what we're going to need to do now is add another block for our image. And I'm going to cheat a little bit and see how that was laid out. So it's down in one block from the top, into around there, maybe in a little bit shorter. There we go. And now if I add an image in place, didn't want to go to the computer, so I click on it once, then go to stock images. I'm just going to choose any photo for this one. So first of all, that image is in place. It's filling the width, or should I fitting to the width of the container, should I say. And so what I want to do instead is get it to fit with the others. So I'm going to double click on it, then go to the design tab. And from here, I'm going to go to shape. From here, we've got the circle option. If I'm going a little bit quick for you, I'm trying to cater this for beginners and more advanced users of Squarespace. If you want the very basics for updating Squarespace, then we have introductory courses, including one as an introduction to web design available on Pixel Haze Academy. Go over and check that out first if you're finding I'm going a bit quick for you here. But I'm assuming that many of you will know your way roughly around Squarespace and are looking to get the most from it. So we can see here we can't get it to look like the one above. If I bring it in, it's smaller and more centrally aligned, doesn't fit as well. And if I bring it out to the edge, it's going right to the edge of the container. So how did I do it here? I just reduced the height. And then once I've done that, I can align the image to the right-hand side of the container. It's a little hack there to get your image positioned exactly where you want to. Then we can add a text block in this section here. So I'm going to click Add Block, go to Text. Now I can move this text block into position. And from here, we can just see how it's positioned as well. So I'm just going to cheat again, and I'm going to copy this text block from this section, and I'm going to paste it in here. And I'm going to add in something to suit that top section there. So we know that that was a paragraph 1. And because we copied and pasted this across, it's coming across in it white. But if you were to type it in from scratch, like this title here, it would default to the darker color. That's not taking into account the color of the shape. The text area does not take that into account, and hence that's why we were having the problem before. What it's doing is it's marrying it up to the color of the background of that section. So if you want the cards to really stand out with high contrast to the background, and then you're putting a text block on top of it, you will see a couple of quirks because the text block isn't aligning to the block at all. It's not even taking that into account. And so let's do that then. So we're going to change this card color. So I'm going to go to the edit option with the pencil icon once again, pop down to this color option here. I can either choose a custom color or I can fit it with the color palette that I've already set up in Squarespace. Now when I go back to oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to select all of the text within that block, make sure I get all of it. Now put it to white. Okay, we're getting there now. We can see that the margins are good and consistent between those sections. But this is a bullet point. This isn't, and I'm expecting once again, the moment we add the bullet point, it's there, but it's also the same color as the backdrop because we picked the darkest color in the library. So if I were to change the color of our background to maybe the next color up, I don't know if you can see it, but I certainly can. that bullet point is there. It's just in the darker color. So there is a way to fix this. And it took me about a minute or two to find the solution. Apparently I'd found it before, but I'd completely forgotten I did that. What I'm going to do is select this block once, then go to this paint bucket icon to style the background. And we're going to cheat a little bit. So I'm going to put a background color behind it, but then I'm going to choose the same color backdrop as the shape behind. And this will work if you're overlaying on top of a photo or a gradient, simply because we can also make that background transparent. Okay, so now we've got the background in that dark color. It should allow us to fix that bullet point, or at least it did last time I did it. Also, I'm going to remove the padding just so it fits in line with everything else. So padding top and bottom, left and right. And now I'm hoping, although I'm not so sure now looking at it, it's the beauty of doing things live, isn't it? It didn't work this time. So let's change the color of all the text. And now let's try that bullet point once more. It really doesn't want to work. Okay, that makes me sad. I can promise you it worked the first time. So let's try it one more time. Right, let's go to white. Let's go to dark color. And it's not changing it. So, okay, plan B. I really thought that would work. I'm going to try it again from scratch. So this time, I'm going to type in title, then bullet point. And I'm going to select the bullet point. No, actually, I'll leave it just as that for now. So what I'll do is try and apply the background color. Now I'm going to apply the text color. Now I'm going to try and apply the bullet point. It was working. Well, sod's law indeed. Okay, so I'm trying to think of any other ways around this now, because this certainly is a bug. We should be able to add a text block on a background color. That will then allow us to fix this exact issue. And I'm trying to think, is there anything I did differently on the other layout that I haven't done on this one? It's potentially on the other one, all I had was the bullet point list. So I could try that. And we'll try it one more last time just to see if we can make it any better. So if we go to shape once more, not shape, sorry. If we go and find a text block, and we add our bullet point. We now change the background color behind it. What it should be doing is changing the text color automatically, which it's not. Yeah, I'm lost for how to create this. Um, it's a very lazy argument to say don't go and put bullet points in on your content, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to try one more thing to see if I can get it to work. So instead of doing all of that, let's go to edit the section and change the color pack for this section to dark. We'll go dark 2. Hmm. Yeah, we'll go to darkest 2. And we'll try that. No, can't do anything to get this to work at the moment. But you can see here that actually that bullet point's not working with just on the main backdrop. There is something inherently wrong with this layout that I've not come across before. So there's every chance that the fix that I've made that doesn't look very convincing at the moment is going to work for you. I'm not going to delete this video. I'll leave it up there because this is exactly the type of stuff that we come across with when we're working with Squarespace, even though it's a bit embarrassing for me right this moment. And so, yeah, that really doesn't want to work. Try to browser refresh, try a load of different options. So if you come into this, run across this problem, I think there's a good chance that you'll get it fixed by doing this. There could be an issue also with the color pack here. And the one thing I haven't done is gone into the section designs, gone to this colors section here, chosen our darkest 2 color palette, and then gone through and checked these options here. And this is probably where we're going to fix it. So you can see the headings, and then if we go to paragraph medium on background, let's change it to white. Yeah, this was the issue. The colors, for some reason, aren't coming up properly. Okay, so I got a little bit of relief now. We have fixed it. So if we got a dark background and then we wanted to go with that color option, we can now fix it by going down that route. Hope that makes sense. That was an absolute mess compared to a lot of the other tutorials I did. But as I said, I'm not going to delete it. I'll leave it out there. And let me know if this has helped you at all working with Squarespace. This is a really good example of even really good software like Squarespace, how frustrating it can be when it just doesn't work. And I was able to get this to work this morning. And the main difference is, for some reason, these color palettes here are messed up a little bit. I'm going to blame someone just going in randomly and sabotaging it, obviously, for it. But if you can't fix it in the way I've shown it there, pop into these color themes here. Don't change as much more than you need to, because otherwise that causes more headaches than it's worth. But hopefully that will give you an idea of how to create more advanced structures like this and add things like bullet points over top of dark backgrounds. Anyway, thank you for bearing with me on this tutorial. I'm hoping to come back with more in the future. And what I'd like to do is to hear from you. Is there anything that you're struggling with Squarespace that I may, or off the back of this video, may not be able to help you with? I love exploring and problem solving and finding different routes to get to the end of the issue. I've been creating tutorials for Squarespace for many years. And if you'd like to find out more about that, head over to pixelhaze.academy. And we've got a load more tutorials, blog posts, tips, and advice that you can get completely for free from there. Otherwise, I'll be hopefully back soon with a more successful tutorial. Cheers.